How do folks, David here. It's been a while since I've done an update from the car, but it's one of those ones where you find you've suddenly got an emergency and you've got to do a quick run down to your local hobby store. So it's going to be down to Iron Horse Games again, quickly in my lunch hour. And what do I need to grab? I need to grab some trees because I used all of those in the big tree making video, or the bulk tree making video that I did the start of this month. And I also want to have a little bit of an experiment with sprue goo, and for that I'm going to need to grab some Tamiya cement because that is the one that is recommended by pretty much everybody. So I'll navigate the traffic and I'll catch up with you, maybe in store, maybe once I've got the goodie haul. Ah well, unfortunately not the most lucrative of supply runs. Unfortunately didn't have the trees. I'm going to have to email and get some ordered in, but I did manage to get the extra thin cement, the Tamiya stuff, so that is all good. I've no idea what I'm going to be doing in terms of crafting tonight. There's an awful lot there on the backlog. I've got one more of the new Jeeps to construct, and if I get the chance I'll get those in for at least an undercoat. Maybe get that flyer done. Dunno, see what I feel like, and see you guys in a couple of minutes. Okay, I've been back in the house a little while now, and while I was waiting for dinner to finish off cooking, I got this, the last of the Temu Jeep buggy things, done. So let's have a quick look and see what the whole collection looks like. So here they are in all of their glory. Now, two different sizes. The smaller two are these ones at the front. The ones at the back there are the larger ones. And to me, they kind of come in, I guess, almost three categories. These ones, fully enclosed and turreted, are obviously attack vehicles. These ones are more kind of open flatbed with sort of like medium armament. So I'm not sure whether or not they would sort of like almost carry troops or a bit of cargo or something like that. And that one in the centre at the back there, I'll get my finger out of the way, is very lightly armed. You know, there's just the guns at the front and a couple of expendable missiles at the back. I'm not sure that that's supposed to be sort of like a heavy support unit, especially when you compare it with this one over here and those proper rack-mounted missiles. So yeah, I mean, that could be a full-on troop transport or just a cargo transport that can defend itself a little bit. Not sure. So if you guys have got any ideas on how I can sort of categorize them and use them in game, please feel free to drop a comment down below. But what I do need to do is get them off for an undercoat now before I lose the light. Again, for vehicles, it's going to be black on the underneath, grey on top, and then I'll work out what colours I'm going to be doing, sort of like the main body after that. And because I've still got a little bit of painting time left, there's still some work to be done on this one. Plus there's the Leman Russ that needs to be finished off. Well, sorry, the Chaos version of the Leman Russ, the AT-70. I'll get an ash on. Alright, so I got started doing the undercoats on those and went to grab the flyer and the tank. And I suddenly realised, hang on, I haven't done the flying stand. So I didn't bother filming the next bit, basically because I was running out of time. I really did want to get all of the undercoating for those pieces done tonight. Normally I would have shown the basing on camera and things like that. I just didn't have the time because, yeah, it was sort of like jumping back and forward between putting paint undercoats on the Jeeps and then putting basing material on the flying stand. And just as darkness fell, I did manage to get the flying stand done as well. So now it's on to pure painting, and it is AT-70. I might get the flyer underway, I'm not sure. We shall just have to see how it goes. I have managed to get the AT-70 done. Here's a quick picture of it, basically facing up against the Leman Russ. One of the things that I maybe should have done before I started any of the painting was to actually get rid of that sort of Imperial skull and wings thing on the front. I didn't, so basically I've painted it in properly and then painted over it with a cone symbol to show that it's been defaced. I am not 100% happy with this one. I am going to call it complete, so the counter will go up, but I may have painted kind of in the wrong order. Maybe I should have done the black and the gunmetal on the tracks before I put the oil wash on. It just doesn't look weathered enough. So I think what I may do is while yes, I'm calling it complete, I may use it as an experiment to get some of the weathering powders and see if I can, you know, dirty up the tracks and the front of that dozer blade a little bit more. We shall see what it comes out like. Anyway, flyer time. Right, tanks out of the way. I have no idea how much of this I am going to manage to get done. What I would like to do is get some of the blue trim on here. So this is a Phantine Air Corps flyer, and the colour scheme, from what I've been told, is so like mottled grey with blue trim. Now, it doesn't exactly say how much blue trim, so what I am going to do, I'll certainly do around that sort of intake there. I'll probably do the leading edges of the wings along the bottom, and the struts on the canopy, they can get blue, and I may do some blue spot colour further up the fuselage, but I certainly want to get this at least part way done so I can see what it's going to start looking like. Yeah, already with that little bit of spot colour, it's starting to come together. Alright, I'll crack on. Well, I didn't get too much more done after I filmed sort of starting on the trim, but it is starting to get there. I'm quite happy with the way that that worked out. I did manage to get the black undercoat on for the sort of metal bits, so the guns have been done as well. It's coming along, and it actually struck us that even though blue is my favourite colour, so I'm quite enjoying doing this, I don't get to paint blue all that often. It's probably because I don't have an army of Ultra Smurfs. I shall have to rectify that in one of my forces moving forward. That is about it. Oh, of course, update the scoreboard. And one thing that doing those numbers has shown me is the fact that first part of this year, it's very vehicle heavy. Probably because, well, that's what I've been buying, and I want to get them out of the way. But it's certainly not normal fare for me, and I certainly need to get more troops on the scoreboard. Speaking of which, now that the reinforcements for both sides are well in hand, I do need to get back to the main army, the Tanith forces, and actually complete the repair and refurbishment of that army so I can get it out on the table again in the very near future. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me again. Your time is always appreciated. If you want to get notifications of upcoming videos or when I post a new video, please do consider hitting the subscribe button if you haven't already. Hit that little bell to get notifications, and have a good day wherever you are in the world. I will see you next time. Toodle pip for now.